We have Rishikesh ji with us. He has been an advisor for FTII. Now he's doing independent projects on virtual production filmmaking. A lot of things that we can learn and keep updated about filmmaking, virtual filmmaking per se. Welcome, Rishikesh ji.
Thank you, Ashish. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much. In fact, I'm quite excited because a lot of things are happening in terms of visual virtual production, and every other day something new is happening, and so on one side people are afraid as in what are the things that are happening. Everything is changing upside down. On the
Yeah,
other side, the production cost is coming down. Yeah, immediately it is not. You are also working towards that
yeah.
to bring the production cost down. So, in short, what are the things that are happening?
From the last time we met, so many things have happened, which is also for me, it is tough to keep track of like things moving so fast. Uh, initially, like how it was that we would use in virtual production, for example, the background would be generated using a game engine. Right. And that was it. And that itself was very good because you could change the background at any point. You could change the light at any point, and you could get interactive shadows, lights, reflections with the LED screen technology. And even like the when I had initially with you, I was using Lightcraft's tool to bring down the cost so that an average person who can't afford like a big LED screen can use green screen technology and do it. And my God, how things have changed, especially with the advent of AI. It's gone crazy. On the non-AI side, I think the best thing that has happened is what are called as Gaussian splats, where which is very much like photogrammetry, but you can capture like the whole scene and that whole scene can then be used in virtual production. Even if you don't use it in virtual production, I mean some stills and for just some pickup shots and everything, that backgrounds are super cool, even with the traditional workflow. So here you can see a set that has been captured using Gaussian splats, and very much you can actually go through the set. All right, the whole 3D, you can watch the set from any angle. So, and then the whole thing goes uh, as a backdrop that can be used in virtual production. I can put like one my actor over here and that. And even if the set is later on toned down and then I want to use it for something, I have all that data here. And this is very easy to uh, do. There is a camera that you just have to walk through the set, capturing all of this data. There is some processing that has to happen on this, and then just like that, you have this set that you can use everywhere. Uh, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, talking about that, placing characters also will be as easy as it is, right? So, in the sense,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So once you have the 3D, right, you can then use any of the virtual production techniques to place the characters over there. Uh, and essentially it is replacing the painful thing of having to create the 3D set. This technology is available in India, which is amazing. And there is a guy from Bangalore. Like I would very strongly recommend him. His name is Kumar Swamy Usmat. I think his company's name is iTech iTech Media. So they are providing the cameras to do all the scanning and everything, and sort of helps with the virtual production workflow. So that has been pretty cool. Other thing is just using AI to generate sets. And that quality of AI sets has gone amazing. And you have now seen, like in many trailers, you can see that AI is starting to be used very like it's become very commonplace. I think 1.5 year ago, like it was not even there, and now it has become super commonplace. So that part is amazing. Uh, just the fact that many of the like in promos and trailers, you can actually get entire shots done with AI. And we had that little incident with the movie. I forgot which movie, but there was the Gemini logo that get uh, was left in the trailer, and then they later removed it. But it caused a lot of controversy. But that was like the first time which it came out in the open that everybody has started using AI for virtual production.
Three-dimensional scene that you showed. So the actual recording will happen with green screen. Chroma will be used, and then it will be merged together. Is that how?
You can do anything depending on your budget. Either you can use a green screen to shoot the people and do a traditional compositing with this media rendered separately. This media will run in Unreal Engine or in Blender or any custom. And the one that I showed you is in a browser. So it runs anywhere. So either you can use your traditional workflows with After Effects or Nuke or something to compose, or you can use a live green screen through basically a cheaper virtual production workflow using JetSet from Lightcraft. You could use that. JetSet also now supports Gaussian splat, so that is another amazing thing. And you could also do it with a LED screen. So it is very much becoming, I think it will become the de facto workflow because it is very easy to get a good scan of the surroundings. And that's what we want, right? We want like a quicker way of doing things.
So, in your experience, which would be the cheap and perfect relatively?
So Gaussian scan requires, I think the only thing it requires is a good computer to do what is called as the training of the Gaussian splats. But capturing is easy. You can just take a video. There are two applications. One is called PostShot and JawSet PostShot, which is has a free plan, so you could test it out. Or you have something. It's a German name, Lightfield, but if you it's written in German, so Lichtfeld, Lichfield, which is an open source app, and you can use it to generate your Gaussian splats. So once the Gaussian splats are generated, as I said, you can use it anywhere. And it is just so easy to generate. Like if you use PostShot, JawSet PostShot, it is like trivial to generate this thing, uh, uh, Gaussian splat. And then the fun thing is, I showed you an example of a studio set, right, which was actually shot by Kumar Swamy only. But you could scan historical places and then maybe modify them. You can scan any of the great locations, and that's there. If you have a library of say 2,000 locations, you don't have to go anywhere. You can just shoot it from the place. So if I mean the only thing that is of like the more money you put, right, and the better keying hardware you have, the better shots you get, or the more effort you put. So it is like a person sitting alone in a room somewhere with a good internet connection and a good computer can generate content, which was impossible. This was a team task. You needed so many people, but now it is not there. So very
So,
interesting.
in a way, if you say, sorry to interrupt,
Mm.
if you have an imagination, say like earlier, if you have a fantasy idea and fiction, you may have to create a animation probably because
Yeah,
it's not possible. But now I think it's more
yeah,
real, and you can create something of that sort, sitting
yeah.
in the comfort of your,
Yes, yeah.
system, and yeah.
In fact, there is a site called as Beeble.ai where they just released their new tool called SwitchX, where you can shoot somebody and then just put them in any background, which is AI generated. All right. So you could shoot them sitting on a sofa at home with really bad lighting, and then just transform them using AI into any location.
SwitchX. SwitchX is our new video-to-video model that lets you change your background and lighting in a single click while keeping the subject's detail exactly the same.
One of the problems with AI till now was the performance. And it is always like, oh, the performance doesn't look real. What SwitchX lets you do is capture the actual performance, but then just transform the whole dress and the background and everything around it. So the results are amazing, and you can like go to the SwitchX website, and there are some nice demos. It's mind blowing what you can do with it, and what it does to storytelling in general. So multiple characters now can be done. Audio has become easy. Like you can generate any audio. If you, I remember in the old days with the when you record on set the voice, and sometimes you don't get the correct right voice, right? And then you have to if you try to dub it also, you don't get that same sound quality which is there on set. So it was always a big hassle if the recording was not correct on set with sync sound. Uh, but now with all these AI tools, I can just clone the voice, have somebody say that voice, and then just get fill in that voice in the soundtrack. So uh, totally great. A lot of the work that traditionally you would require teams of roto artists or composers and compositors and everything can just be done directly now in AI. It has been very, very much overwhelming to see. In a sense, it's also sad to see that some of the roles that we had earlier are just disappearing. But what it is doing is for people who want to tell a story, it is giving them such a huge opportunity, which was never there before. So I think the whole virtual production and in general the production technology has come.
You talked about the in sync recording. I was thinking about this. For example, I was talking to a filmmaker recently.
Yeah.
So there's a bar scene in a bar.
Mm.
So they recreated the bar and the for the recording. Yeah, you cannot have the ambience and the
Yeah.
dialogues at the same time. So ambience they recreated on someone's terrace.
Yeah.
Keeping the mugs and glasses and those kind of noises, whatever is in the bar, and then they recorded the other thing separately and then merged it. So
Yeah.
when you're saying that in sync recording and you can manipulate, can we separate these tracks? Is that how?
Yes, yes. That is
Wow.
like that is become very trivial. In fact, like what we call a stem separation in music, where we have always been able to separate the sound and then the musics. So the bass would be different, trebles would be different, any instrument. Actually, that used to be very basic, but now AI can actually recognize an instrument and do a separation of tracks.
Let's find the stories that we need to hear and make the path ahead feel bright and clear. Every voice can spark a brand new flame. On Media Mathamgi, we share the game. Inspiring journeys start with just one thought. See all the wonder that connection brought. Come on